Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before and haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and turn on the notification bell so you get the alerts when I drop these kind of videos. Yes, this kind of video, because what's happened is the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks have actually made a trade. I like that Leon likes to get out ahead of the curve here. Look, the trade deadline is about a month away, and once again, like last season when he pulled the trigger on the Derrick Rose trade, Leon stepped out in front and made the trade for Cam Reddish in exchange for Kevin Knox. And here's the deal. The Hawks are trading forwards Cam and Solomon Hill and a 2025 second-round pick to the Knicks in exchange for Knox. Sadly, Kevin Knox, we bid you farewell. The best of luck to you, brother. The best of luck to you, man. So, and along with the Charlotte protected 2020 second draft pick, which right now could convey at it could be the 20th pick. So you have to ask yourself, is Cam better than what we could expect at the 20th pick in this season upcoming draft? I think the answer is clearly yes. This is a big, big triumph victory trade for the Knicks. Now, does he come with issues? Absolutely. Absolutely comes with issues. These are his stats. Defensively, he is much weaker than I actually had originally thought. You know, because I just was doing the eye test. I was watching him. I was like, okay, he looks like a decent defender. But when you dig deep into the stats, they're not good. His on-off stats, then the Hawks become better when he's off the court. So that is something that that Thibs and the coaches are going to have to figure out how to unlock, if they can unlock his defense. Because, at 6'8", I mean, we needed a wing like this. We actually didn't even technically, we only had RJ. RJ and Fournier were our wings. And Fournier was a little on the short side and also a defensive liability. So we got a little bit longer in the wing department, and the guy can shoot. Look what he's averaging 37, almost 38% from the three-point line. But when you dig deeper, his corner threes is what's driving that number. 48% from corner three. And Thibs likes that corner three shot. 83rd percentile in the entire NBA. Now you see his defensive rating, 115, which is pretty high. The league average is 109.8. So I rounded it up to 110. So there you go. You see that his defense is lacking. So he's got to unlock that. He's averaging about 12 points per game, 2.5 rebounds. He's coming off the bench. 1.1 assists, but look at the steals per game. 1 steal per game. That's not bad in the minutes that he plays. But look at his field goal percentage, 40.2%. His mid-range game is completely it's just non-existent at the moment. And he's not a tremendous rim finisher, but that's actually been improving a bit. So, he's a prospect. He's a guy with high upside. I think it's a good deal, and it could mean a lot of things going forward. So here's one thing that I think it means. It's possible. This feels like the first domino. I think there's more trades coming. I think there's at least one more, if not potentially 2 or 3 more trades coming. The Knicks still need to resolve the point guard situation. So either that's going to be done through a trade, or we're going to commit to one of the guards that's already on the squad. The problem is Kemba and Rose are injury prone. Rose is still out. He won't be back for probably till the end, maybe at the end of February, we hope. I was hoping mid-February, but still it's going to be after the trade deadline. And then Kemba, look, he's been out, how many games has he missed now? 5 games or something? So he plays, he gives you some minutes, he can give you some, unfortunately, this could be the way it goes for the rest of the season. Comes back, plays 4 or 5 games in a row, and then he's out for 4 or 5 games, 6 games, or whatever. So that's a lot of inconsistency at probably the most important position in the NBA. So we need to resolve that. And then there is the situation with the center position. Are we going to get a stretch 5? Is Miles Turner still being looked at? I think this kind of also maybe, for all we know, the Knicks could swing Cam into the Jeremy Grant trade. We don't know. We could also mean Obi. Obi becomes more expendable. This just feels like part 1. That's what this feels like for me. Part 1. Here we go. Look at that. Nice. You can see he has athleticism. The guy, I mean, I watched every single college game of his, and he was disappointing. It's one of the reasons the Dukies didn't go as far as they should have gone, because when they needed three-point shooting, he wasn't there. He didn't deliver that. So that's something that, has to be looked at. But could this mean that this now, to go read into it even further, now, the Knicks have been, the Kentucky Knicks. Now they're getting a little blue demonish with adding another Dookie. Could a third Dookie be on the way? Zion? All right, don't want to get too crazy. But this could mean that this is now a way of Leon to give RJ another ally, despite what the rumors are that they didn't get along in college and stuff. I actually never heard that. So that's I wouldn't put much credence into that rumor. And also, if that was true, would they make this deal? So I don't think so. But it gives RJ another ally, another guy who was his former teammate, who basically RJ was the leader on that Duke Blue Demons team, even with Zion being on there, the transcendent talent that he is. So this could be a way of passing the mantle from Julius to RJ. And it should be that way. RJ is our third pick. He's the guy who has potentially the brighter future. We need to find out if he can lead this team. And he seems to have the mental makeup and enough of the skills to do so. So let's see. This could be part of that. Again, the first domino has fallen. Let's see what happens. Now let's look at a few things here. So SNY tweeted this out. This is interesting. The Hawks were interested in acquiring Quentin Grimes in the Cam Reddish deal, but some Knicks decision makers opposed parting with him. So Grimes was not included in the final deal, and Knox was. So that's interesting. I'm glad we did not give up on Grimes. Grimes is one of our best perimeter defenders. Is one of our best defenders, period, on this team right now. Here's another interesting tweet that Mike Bork from The Athletic tweeted out. This is the first time Knicks have traded a future first-round pick since June 30th, 2013. The ill-fated Andre Bargnani trade for their 2016 first. Ugh, that hurt so much. I was furious when that trade happened, honestly. The Knicks have had considerable restraint in trading future firsts. This time, they dealt from a position of strength with lots of surplus picks in hand. Foxy and I talked about this in the pregame show the other day. When we talked about Cam Reddish, we were asked about him, and we thought, you know what? Why not? Why not include that Charlotte pick? In fact, the exact scenario, Knox and the Charlotte pick, is exactly what Foxy and I outlined as a possible deal. And the very next day it happened. Awesome. And it makes sense, because this is a weaker draft. You weren't going to find, maybe, you never know, but the likelihood you were going to find another Quentin Grimes or another Quentin Grimes. I thought I said Emmanuel Grimes. Emmanuel Quickly or Quentin Grimes. The odds that isn't that interesting? They both have a Q, the first letter of one of their names. The likelihood we were going to find somebody like that again for a third time were really minimal, especially in this draft. It's not a deep draft, and it's an odd draft. So we got. I think this is an excellent flip. Seriously, I really think. Unfortunately Knox leaves us. But we weren't going to extend him, so he was basically a dead contract for us. So this is a way to turn that into an asset that's ongoing, and we control Reddish's rights for a few more years. So this is good. I'm totally in favor of this deal. This is another interesting tweet. Actually, Keith shared this with me. Joseph Gill tweeted this out. I'm not sure about these numbers, but it's interesting. It probably is correct. Cam Reddish scores in the 46th percentile for all NBA players on a per possession basis. Basically league average, right? If he didn't take a single mid-range jumper this season, that number would jump to almost 70th percentile, a near max level player at 22 years old. Interesting. Just something interesting to percolate in the mind there. All right, this is something else interesting that Ian Begley tweeted this out. this was the ESPN ranking of that year when RJ was in high school, and so was Zion. Cam was number 3. All those top 3 went to Duke. But look who else is on this list. Number 8, Quentin Grimes. So now we have 3 of the top 8 recruits of that draft class, of that college class. Interesting. We've just upped the talent level on this team in one single trade. Knox, unfortunately, he was the 9th pick in the 2018 draft. He had an excellent summer league, and he got off to a great start. He was the December player of the month that year, the rookie player of the month for December of his first year, obviously, because he was a rookie. And then, in my opinion, the Knicks development let him down, and he and Verse, of course, let the team down by just not being able to overcome the obstacles that were placed in his way. He started out with Fizdale as his coach, and then he got switched to Miller, and then Thibs came in, and he was basically got buried on the bench and never could really get off of it. There was a little flurry last season, an early part of last season, where he was given a chance and he was just smoking it from the corner. We started calling him Corner Kev, but it didn't last, sadly. And I hope that now he goes to Atlanta or wherever he ends up, that he does get an opportunity and he learns that power forward position, and he can, put a little more muscle on him, and that the dude can shoot. He can shoot from the 3. That is for sure. So wish you the best of luck, brother. Wish you the best of luck. But the story is the Knicks get Cam. Woo! Finally, something has happened. Again, expect more news like this to drop. I have a feeling that I wouldn't even be surprised if by tomorrow there's another big trade. I would call this a mid-sized trade for the Knicks particularly. I'm really happy with this trade. Very, very happy with it. Woo! All right, well, thank you so much for watching this. Once again, please drop your comments and subscribe if you haven't to, and turn on a notification bell for me. Really much appreciate that. And the thumbs ups. And let's go Knicks. Come on. A+. No, I'll give not an A+. A-. I'll give it an A. This is a solid A. Solid A trade when you consider the assets that we gave up. This is a solid A trade. All right. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.